Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. Details emerge of how oily individuals pocketed about 6 billion Kenya shillings in a controversial government deal, and it began with the cabinet secretary's approval for Kenya National Trading Corporation to import duty-free 125,000 metric tons of edible oil. This is how this started. During the requirement and also the importation of maize, rice, beans, oil, and other commodities, when the life was so hard, and this took government intervention through their cabinet secretaries, and that is Moses Kuria, who is the cabinet minister of investment and trade, and the cabinet minister of agriculture, Mithika Linturi. We are being told that this oil scandal is this way. Before I display the video of NTV, an inclusive one on how these people end up squandering almost to 6 billion Kenya shillings into their pockets, as Kenyans are suffering in the name of them having deals in their offices. Now, we are being told that when this deal of importing 125,000 metric tons of edible oil was suggested, this took an approval of two cabinet ministers. Number one was the cabinet minister of investment and trade, Moses Kuria. And we have the cabinet minister of agriculture, Mithika Linturi. We are being told that these companies that secured this importation deal, it is the companies that is associated with them. When you look at this importation of edible oil that was imported through the associated companies of individuals who are in the government of William Samoei Ruto, we are being told it was a duty-free. But when it was imported in the country, they added certain values that made it to be so expensive than expected at it, as the way it was being said, that if they were going to import this oil, it was going to be affordable to the common mwananchi. But if this was a duty-free edible oil importation, why was this cabinet ministers approved a certain idea? For example, like Moses Kuria is the cabinet minister of investment and trade. He came out allowing and also putting mechanisms on how they were going to organize and sell this oil at a higher price so that they can benefit. This was a pure deal. So because I don't want to manipulate a lot of issues, I want you to understand the video of NTV where they've come out to expose this government when it comes to the cabinet ministers who are having deals, doing business in the name of rescuing Kenyans. So watch that video, then we continue.
Pocketed about 6 billion shillings in a controversial government deal. It began with a cabinet approval for the Kenya National Trading Corporation to import duty-free 125,000 metric tons of edible oil. Well, documents reveal how companies associated with the close allies of President William Ruto were single-sourced to procure the oil for KNTC that now stands to lose over 6 billion shillings. The taxpayers' analysis shows could lose another 10 billion shillings in unlawful tax exemptions. While the government waived the 35% customs duty on the imports in order to lower the cost of essential foods, the KNTC may have illegally evaded payment of 4 crucial taxes, resulting in the loss. Here's our Crimes and Investigations reporter Brian Obuya with the context of this latest scandal.
In secret documents that have now been shared with the NTV Investigations Unit, it all began in the very first cabinet meeting chaired by President William Ruto.
Frederick, how are you?
In that meeting held on the 10th of November 2022, Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and his agriculture counterpart Mithika Linturi presented a brief to the cabinet codenamed CAB Inset 2272. That brief was to seek for the importation of maize, beans, rice, sugar, wheat, soya, cooking oil and fertilizer. In the cabinet meeting, please note, the reason for the importation given by Moses Kuria and Mithika Linturi was to assist in lowering the cost of living. It has taken the NTV Investigations Unit 7 months to uncover that a lot more went into the deal than just the flurry of inter-office letters and documents. What we have before us is an indication of how oily, shadowy and connected individuals may have walked away with some 5.6 billion shillings at the expense of the government. But as it would appear, top government officials were involved in aiding what comes across as coordinated tax evasion. In the midst of an economic downturn and a skyrocketing cost of living, taxpayers stand to lose billions of shillings through the Kenya National Trading Corporation, which imported the edible oils through companies that are connected to people in government. It emerges that the companies were deliberately placed in the way of a smooth importation process, that despite having the capacity to procure them from countries of origin, the Kenya National Trading Corporation awarded tenders to middlemen, leading to the possible loss of billions of shillings. In October 2022, the cabinet approved the duty-free importation of 125,000 metric tons of edible oil, together with the similar importation of maize, rice, sugar and beans. However, glaring inconsistencies in documentation now put the spotlight on the Kenya Revenue Authority and the Kenya National Trading Corporation over blatant disregard of procurement laws and massive tax evasion. Dozens of documents in our possession can now confirm that both the National Treasury and KRA applied the wrong provisions of the law
After
to approve
watching
the
that video, I think you have realized that these people are in business. I told you, these people are in business. And this was the freedom that they wanted. Do you remember when Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, came out saying that his government was losing 2 billion daily? You never came out to take this issue serious. Why? Because when Uhuru Kenyatta came out saying this, the same individuals that were being accused in the regime of Uhuru Kenyatta, they are now taking and are part and parcel of this government. Some of them are cabinet ministers, some of them are permanent principal secretaries, some of them are chief administrative secretaries, and some of them are head and chair and CEO of different parastatals. Now, when you look at people like Moses Kuria, they are so eloquent and vibrant towards the issue that entails Kenya. But when you look at their behaviors, it's just pure deals towards the lives and also what Kenyans are passing through. I don't remember when Moses Kuria has never come out trying to lure Kenyans, telling them that we have something great that is going to change your lives. Little did we know that. So now I think when you look at Moses Kuria, is not a sincere man. He is not sincere. When you look at Mithika Linturi, is not a sincere man. These are cabinet ministers that are so eloquent assisting Kenyans to live at least affordable life. But when you look the deal that are the deal and deals that they have, and in fact I was shocked. if their companies associated to their allies were the one that secured this deal, as they were selling to Kenyans, or rather, let me say this has taken NTV 7 months, 7 good months, because immediately they took over. This was a kind of way of saying that we found an empty coffer. This was the narrative. But what we've seen here is that individuals that has been given, or they have been given a mandate to ensure that what they should do is clearly going to be as per their roles in their offices, is not as our expectation. But now look at the way they are securing and pocketing huge amount of money, billions of money, in the name of this oil, where it was duty-free imported edible oil. Imagine it was 125,000 metric tons. Imagine making 6 billion Kenya shillings in the name of making Kenyans to have affordable oil, which it was not affordable. We had the oil, they put it on a higher price, they have benefited, and their deal is set. So ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.